Like what I personally feel like is it's just an attack on, I guess, all the big white, like for example, right? Like I'm just Pearly Things,
Yeah.
and she just got attacked and damn near canceled, right? Well, she's still being canceled right now, right? So,
Right.
right, so I don't even like feel like it's an Adam thing. It's more so of like I guess there's like some type of land or like ownership being like claimed back in this whole like hip hop black creator space that people feel like let's actually get these niggas out of here.
Well, it is a very similar playbook because they're doing it to Aiden Ross, Pearly Things, me, etc. Where it's like, if you are hip hop adjacent or the social media adjacent or
Yeah.
whatever, and you're willing to have conversations with people who are outside of the box of like
Yeah.
approved people to speak to, they are on you now because
Yeah.
they're sort of realizing that somebody like me being willing to put Richard Spencer on the podcast, which I mean that was the most disingenuous thing that I saw in that Media Matters article about me, is that we had Richard Spencer on the podcast to do a debate with Destiny, and he never said anything racist or anything hateful or anything like that. And then when you read the article, you would think that he was throwing up the fucking Hitler salute on the podcast.
Yeah.
When in reality, we brought him on the podcast to have a conversation about how he has changed in his beliefs or whatever. Now, I do agree with like Van Lathan's criticism that we probably should have and could have spent an extra chunk of time talking to him about like, okay, well, you made this racist statement in the past and let's dig into it or whatever. But I mean, yeah, ultimately,
Does he have to come on your podcast to say fucking sorry though? That's what I'm like. You
said sorry though.
You bought
he
him
acknowledged
here.
that he
You bought him here,
regretted it.
but he doesn't have to go into depth of how sorry he is. He changed his fucking life, and then it's like, if you brought him on to have a debate with somebody, like this is the content. You guys are going way beyond the lines of what I'm trying to do. Like I'm trying to show that it's like a middle ground. Like you know what I'm saying right here. And then you come like I just was like all hell Hitler. Like that shit's not, you know what I'm saying? That's not what your purpose was for the shit. And like dealing with all the black people you deal with, you think that you're putting a fucking Nazi in their face so you can, once he leaves, you can get your ass beat. Like I'm trying to figure
reading
it
that
out.
article, you would have thought that somebody said something racist on the
Yeah,
podcast,
yeah.
and it's like it just
I
didn't
thought
happen.
so because I didn't watch the podcast.
And I don't blame you because it's 3 hours and he's very, very wordy, and Destiny's not much better. They both are just talking and like using all kinds of big ass words, and just the part where they're talking about religion is like an hour straight of just like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? And it's like, it is a lot for people to bite off. So the narrative of like, oh, he's having racists on his podcast because he wants to turn No Jumper into a racist platform. It's like, are you fucking serious? Like, if you look at like 2 pieces of content that we've done over the past year where there has been somebody who either had or has controversial viewpoints, and they're on because the Reza Islam too, which is, that's how you really know is bullshit, is that we have a black guy who is an intellectual and has a lot of really interesting shit to say, and they turn it into he's an anti-Semite.